Mecca-lecca-hi, mecca-hiney-ho. Come on, orange seed. Start to grow.
Wow! Jumbie, you must have a green thumb!
Among other things.
Pee-wee's Playhouse premiered on the network in September of 1986. A Saturday morning kids show built around a manic man-child in a too-tight suit and a talking chair. It looked completely harmless. But behind the primary colors was a stage act built for adults. A future horror movie legend working as an unpaid production assistant, a co-creator whose own life ended in tragedy years later, and a scandal so damaging it wiped the show off the air within days. Here are 12 dark and controversial facts about Pee-wee's Playhouse.
You know, I sure do wish I had a new pair of boots.
Wish? Did somebody say wish? What size?
Size 12, double E.
Boy, big feet.
Well, you know what they say. With big feet, big boots.
Number 1. Before Pee-wee Herman was a kid's character, he was a nightclub act. Paul Reubens developed him at the Groundlings Improv Theater in Los Angeles, then took him to the Roxy for a full stage show aimed squarely at adults, complete with drug references and sexual jokes that never would have survived a Saturday morning broadcast. The network eventually sanitized the character for children's television, but the man in the gray suit started out as something a lot closer to an underground comedy act.
I just have a few more switches to tighten up here. A wrench.
Is that a wrench in your pocket?
Ah! That's a wrench!
Number 2. Reubens didn't build Pee-wee alone. Phil Hartman co-wrote much of the original stage act and helped shape the character before Hartman went on to superstardom on Saturday Night Live. Hartman's own story ended in tragedy in 1998, when his life was taken by his wife at their home, a violent end that had nothing to do with the show, but one that permanently overshadows any mention of his early work with Reubens.
Mr. Vaughn, if you're not busy. We'd love to have you for snack time.
We're not gonna eat, Miss Vaughn.
No, Cherry. She's going to be our guest.
Oh!
Number 3. Lawrence Fishburne auditioned for the role of Cowboy Curtis with absolutely no idea the show was a comedy. He told the story himself years later. He played the character dead serious, going for real dramatic weight, before realizing partway through that everyone around him was doing something much sillier. He got the part anyway.
When I auditioned for it, I actually went in and did a whole sort of like serious, sort of like, you know, gunslinger kind of thing. And I was with John Paragon and Paul Reubens, and they were like, lighter?
Number 4. Around the same era he was forming his band White Zombie, a young Rob Zombie was working behind the scenes on Pee-wee's Playhouse as a production assistant. Years later, watching his own gore-soaked horror films, it's hard not to wonder how much of that surreal, nightmarish visual sense started on a children's set full of talking furniture.
I was working at Pee-wee's Playhouse, actually. I was a production assistant for Pee-wee's Playhouse for the first season. The only interaction I ever had with anybody was Paul Reubens, and I was standing there, and he walked by, and he goes, "Where's the bathroom?" I was like, "It's right there."
That's it?
That was it.
Number 5. Natasha Lyonne's very first television acting role was on this show, in the season 1 episode Ice Cream Soup. It didn't last. Production moved from New York to Los Angeles shortly after, and Lyonne's run on the show ended almost as quickly as it began, though she said in interviews that nothing makes her feel quite as legitimately cool as having been part of it.
Hey, Zombie! Okay, say it.
Mecca-lecca-hi, mecca-hiney. God, I hate you so much.
Number 6. You've heard this theme song 1,000 times without knowing who actually wrote it. The instantly recognizable Playhouse theme song was co-written by Mark Mothersbaugh of the band Devo and performed by pop star Cyndi Lauper, an odd, slightly punk pedigree for a song most people associate with breakfast cereal and Saturday morning cartoons. It's a fitting detail for a show whose entire creative DNA came from somewhere a lot weirder than children's television.
Just one more thing, Reba.
No, Pee-wee, goodbye.
Just kidding, Reba. I'm just kidding. Just a little glove joke.
Number 7. Reubens grew up in Sarasota, Florida, right near the winter headquarters of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. The chaotic, circus-adjacent energy of Playhouse, the costumes, the performers, the constant sense of spectacle, traces directly back to what he was surrounded by as a kid. That's the last of the lighter stories on this list. From here, the show's history gets a lot more serious.
I'm donating my dickie.
Dickie! It's a fake turtleneck.
Oh.
Number 8. In July of 1991, Reubens was arrested at an adult movie theater in Sarasota and charged with indecent exposure. He pleaded no contest while publicly denying the allegations. The fallout was immediate. The network pulled the show's reruns from its Saturday morning lineup within days, and a project built entirely around childlike innocence collapsed almost overnight because of something that had nothing to do with the show itself.
Hey, what's up? Take a look.
If Pee-wee does time, he can watch it fly on an original Pee-wee wristwatch. Fans are especially attracted to the Pee-wee collage, the newest item. Turn it over and you have a copy of the actual arrest report filed by Sarasota, Florida police.
Number 9. In 2002, Reubens was arrested again, this time on charges connected to a collection of vintage adult material found in his possession. He eventually pleaded to a lesser obscenity charge, while maintaining publicly for the rest of his life that nothing in his collection constituted the material he'd been accused of having. It was a legal chapter that followed him for the next 2 decades and complicated every attempt he made to bring Pee-wee back.
Oh! I dropped it! Okay.
Number 10. Despite everything, Reubens spent years clawing his way back into public life. A Broadway revival of his stage show in 2010, a television special, guest spots on shows like 30 Rock and The Blacklist, and eventually, a new streaming film, Pee-wee's Big Holiday, in 2016. The character that nearly ended his career became the thing he kept returning to, again and again, for the rest of his life.
Oh, I brought everything with me. I'm going to change later on into my hostess pajamas.
Can I watch?
Oh, Pee-wee.
Number 11. Late in his life, Reubens quietly approached Josh and Benny Safdie, the filmmakers behind the brutal crime thriller Uncut Gems, about building a genuinely dark, adult version of Pee-wee. It never got made, but the idea that the man behind children's television's most famous character wanted to take him somewhere that grim says something about how much distance Reubens felt from the sanitized version the public knew. Number 12. Paul Reubens was privately battling cancer for years before his death in July of 2023. He kept it hidden from nearly everyone, including the director of his own documentary, who has said he had no idea how serious it was until Reubens was already gone. The man who spent his career being watched by millions of children spent his final years managing a secret almost nobody around him knew existed. Which of these caught you off guard? The Phil Hartman connection, or how long Reubens kept his diagnosis private? Let me know in the comments. If this kind of deeper dive into the reality behind a classic show is something you want more of, subscribe. There's more of this coming.
Bye-bye, everybody. See you next week.
Same Pee-wee time, same Pee-wee channel.